Hello everyone, and welcome to v8sonline's live coverage of the TrakRacer Proto-GT Challenge, proudly sponsored by Thrustmaster and TrakRacer. Filling in for the time being, I'm your host Sebastian Meyer Westberg, and joining me is our good friend Clayton Brooks. How are you, Brooksy?
Good, thanks, Seb. How are you, mate?
Daniel Bryan is supposed to be hosting my spot at the moment, but he's running a little bit late, so I'm sure you'll be joining us very, very soon. But on to what we have ahead of us. 45 minutes of Road America in this multi-class action.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Good track, Road America, for the multi-class. Got some nice long straights there to help with the overtaking, and also with the drafting and that. It's a good track.
Yeah, it should provide some exciting racing. Obviously, we're just getting back from our Christmas break, so I wanted to wish everyone a Happy New Year's, and hopefully you had a great Christmas with family and friends or whatever you decide to get up to. It's good to be back, though. Looking forward to wrapping up this season. We've only got 3 rounds, really, left of this season.
Yeah, it's winding down the season now. It's coming into play who's fighting for these championships between the 3 classes of cars, and I'm sure they're going to be out there to stamp their authority on it tonight.
Yeah, it should be exciting, and here we go. Look at this man that's finally joined in. Daniel Bryan, how are you, buddy?
Good evening, gents. How are we?
G'day, Daniel. How are you, mate?
Good. Just having a few issues. I'm just getting ready to join the server now.
Oh, you're lucky we're patient, mate, so good to have you on board. How was your Christmas and New Year's?
Absolutely brilliant. It's good to be back, though. I've been looking forward to getting back in the com box. So, yeah, it should be an interesting race tonight.
Yeah, it should definitely be exciting. Anyway, I might jump out of the comms box and get to controlling the cameras. Have a good call, boys, and I'll talk to you after the race.
Thanks, Seb. See you, mate. Yeah, I'd like to welcome all the viewers back from Christmas New Year's. Hope you've had a good and a safe Christmas.
Hope everyone had a good Christmas and enjoyed themselves.
We've got a crackly mic there, Daniel, but I'm not sure if our director can get the race preview up. But we've got 6.4 kilometres, 14 turns tonight. It makes up Road America with a pit lane speed of 72 kilometres an hour. Which we won't be using the pit lane, unfortunately, tonight because it's a sprint race. Just get the prototype of the grid for the prototypes. We've got Tommaso Carla off pole, Anthony Kernich off second, Fabio Milani third, Steve Honan fourth, Jonathan Solani in fifth, sixth is Rafael Di Palo, seventh Anthony Logniov, and eighth is Gavin Barber. The GT1s, we got Tony Autridge off pole, Jake Burton, Charles Nig, fourth is Stefan Overgaard, fifth Wayne Burke, sixth Mark Peter Dean, seventh John M. Sutherland, and Marty Atkins has joined the race in 8th spot. And in the GT2 cars, we've got Fabio Gonzalez has grabbed the pole ahead of Eric Vyadov. This one kills me every time. Sabaz Volka Jr. is third, Paul Van Morello is fourth, Andrew Casey fifth, Dwayne Burns in sixth, Andrew Wren in seventh, and Gennady Titov in eighth. So not a huge grid tonight, Daniel. Just missing Daniel at the moment. That's alright, he'll be back. Just having a few technical problems. The cars are starting their warm-up lap. It will take a little while. It's quite a long track, and they're doing the entire track in this warm-up formation lap. Of course, a couple of cars are probably down the back a little bit than what we're used to seeing. Andrew Wren is starting out as 7th in the GT2 cars. He'll be keen to make his way forward. He's obviously running quite well in the championship, the GT2s.
Sorry to butt in there. Is making sure I'm coming through clearly.
Yeah, got you now, mate. All good.
Brilliant. Obviously, my mic's still on holidays.
In the prototypes, we've got Tommaso, who's got nearly a second, or just over a second lead in the pole position. But the next couple of guys are second, third, and fourth, and fifth, and sixth. They're all very close. Looking for a good battle between those second through to sixth tonight.
Yeah, definitely. The prototypes the last few rounds have put on some really good racing. And yeah, it's been brilliant to watch up and down the field. But you know, you can never go past those Corvettes. They always seem to just shine.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Corvettes, that's for sure. I love the sound of them, basically. But the guys in there, they're not separated by too much Seaver on qualifying time, so hopefully we get some good racing from them tonight.
Yeah, some familiar faces, obviously up and down the grid. Tony Ortridge out there in the Corvette, he's done a fantastic job so far. It's funny not to see Anthony Kernich on pole for the prototypes, and to have someone pip him for pole is such a dominating lead.
Yeah, it's not just hasn't just pipped him either, is it? It's, like I mentioned before, just over a second ahead of Anthony's time. So we saw this at VIR. Tommaso really dominate the field, but he was unlucky with lap traffic. So that's mixed class racing. Anything can happen.
Yeah, definitely. That's the mix of things around here. At least good old Road America, some really nice long straights. Should be fairly easy for the prototypes to get around here.
Guys are nearing the end of the back straight now. So a short run up the hill and then we'll be racing.
It puts on such a good race, Road America. It doesn't matter what kind of car you bring around here, it's always just brilliant. Oh, stacking up there with the prototypes, almost a bit of an incident.
Yeah, they checked up a fair bit there at the front, guys. You've got a healthy gap back to the Corvettes.
Oh, Tommaso, absolutely dominant. I think Anthony Kernich is going to lose second here to Fabio.
Yeah, Anthony was really caught waiting there. I don't know if he was in the wrong gear or he was really caught with his pants down, basically.
Yeah, he might actually lose 30 here as well. Oh, as Steve Hoonan comes flying through into that first turn. Everyone's keeping it nice and clean through there.
Ortridge is yeah, is it Jake Bird?
Yeah, oh, Jake Bird looks like he's having a little bit of a touch, but still managed to keep it clean through there. Jake Burton putting on a really solid job in the Corvette the last few races.
Yeah, he's certainly stepped it up this season in the Corvette. He's worked his way up to the front end of the field.
He's got a bit of traffic behind him. Here we go.
Fabio's held the lead for GT2 cars down through turn 2. Guys, we've got a car off the back. Injury case, he's got loose out of turn 2 and he's taken to the grass.
Managed to collect himself. Jeez, Tommaso's just absolutely opened up that lead.
Of course, that's Tommaso's teammate Fabio Milani in
second,
second position, yeah.
So these guys have done a lot of laps in these prototypes. So receiving word that there's a few issues with the overlay, so there might be a few issues as you're watching the broadcast, but we'll still get picture and you'll still get voice. We'll see if we can get these overlays up and going. Nice little battle here between Salahani and Koenig.
Dahani's still applying some pressure to the back of Milani.
Yeah. No one that would be a little bit further up. It's not that he's far behind, but Steve Hernan, I thought would be putting up a bit of a battle for these first few laps, but he seems to just be sitting back there a little bit.
We've got Charles MG just made it up the inside of Wayne Burke on turn 1 in the GT1 cars.
Something must have happened to Jake Burke. He's dropped way back. He's in pits. Some serious damage there on the score. Oh, it looks like he's done it all himself into the last corner. He's gone a bit too hot and hit the grass. Let's see if we can pull that up on the race recall replay. Oh. Pull that up now. He's just going a bit too hot there into the final corner. Hit the grass with the brakes and just slid all the way into a wall, reversed it in there. Nothing worse than when you wreck a bit of aero on one of these cars.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for Jake. He's obviously pushing hard to keep with Tony Autridge and out of the race. He's disconnected from the race, so it's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, Tony Autridge has got a dominating lead now in the Corvette.
Fabio Gonzalez is holding on to the lead in GT2 cars, but Eric's not letting him get away too quickly.
Yeah, another nice little train happening just behind that as well. Dwayne Burns, Andrew Wren having a nice little battle.
Yeah, with Titov just in there behind him.
Fabio and Salahani having a nice... Oh, looks like Salahani might have a look on the inside. No, thinks better of it. That's... Looks like Raphael as well is starting to catch up to Steve Hernan here.
Raphael's another team member of Tommaso and Milani, so the guys obviously must have a pretty good setup under the car.
Definitely. Something must have happened to Fabio. He's dropped completely off altogether. Let's see if I can find... See if we can find what's happened to him.
Yeah, he's sitting in pit lane at the moment.
So we can pull that up on the race recall replay for you guys.
He's just coming out of the big left-hand carousel. He's got out onto the grass, and it spun him across into the concrete wall on the inside. A lot of damage to that GT2 car.
Yeah, definitely some of it. He'd be disappointed with that. Now some blistering times to go out like that.
Going to be a battle shaping up for second, third and fourth in the prototypes. Anthony Koenig is making his way back up. Of course, the way the cars are set up here with the downforce on these long straights plays a huge role tonight.
Yeah, definitely. You wouldn't think the guys would have a big aero package set on this. There wouldn't be too much downforce coming into play. You'd think that's how it's set up with all these long straights, but you never know.
Andrew Renza made his way past Dwayne Burns towards the back of the GT2 field, with Titov pressure on the back of Dwayne now. I touched on the top of the broadcast there, Andrew Wren was a bit further down than we've been used to seeing him, so whether it's been not as much practice over the Christmas break for him maybe, but he'll obviously get a bit faster throughout the race, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things. As you feel more comfortable, you'll start finding your speed again. And see a lot of these guys that probably haven't raced over the last 2 weeks, just taking a break and back for their first event for this week. So yeah, I'm sure they're still trying to get used to it. And obviously, probably over the break as well, they probably switched over and did a few laps in RUF. So
yeah, there's we should have mentioned that actually to our viewers. Sorry, the Porsche Rough coming out on iRacing, and I think there's been a hell of a lot of people just driving the Rough and giving up on their normal cars. But I'm sure once the novelty wears off, a lot of people will come back and drive in what they love.
yeah, exactly. It was almost like a mini week 13 thing happening halfway through a season with the Christmas break. Some new content released, and everyone got excited and went and played with that for a while. So obviously all these guys just trying to find their way around again. But yeah, definitely good to see everyone back out there. Tommaso starts making his way past the first lap traffic. Let's have a look at Tony Autridge here in the Corvette. Nice lead there from Tony Autridge, back to about 4 seconds between him and Wayne Burke.
Yeah, Wayne Burke's got that move back done on Charles a couple of laps ago, and he's really streaked away from Charles since then. It's not a huge field tonight, and it's quite spread out already.
Yeah, everyone's starting to move in. I actually thought we'd see a fair few people for this one, being Road America, and I'm sure it's a track that lots of people have done laps around. But yeah, definitely a few familiar faces missing. Reece Gardner in the Prototype being one of them. We're also missing Leo Gray in the Corvette.
He's got Stefan Overgaard still racing in the back of him a little bit, not letting him get any rest out there. These guys are currently 4th and 5th for their class. We've got a whole heap of lap cars getting chewed up down near the carousel at the moment. It seems like they've all found the same spot on the track. We've got Steve Honan, Anthony Kernich and Fabio Milani made their way through some lap cars there of that little group of Andrew Ring. We'll give a little shout out to our v8sonline Monday night commentator Sam Man. I've just heard he's watching the broadcast. Only try and emulate your Sam Man, could never be as good as you, mate. We've got Jake Burton's made his way up to the commentary box. Might see if we can grab some words from Jake. How are you, Jake?
I can't believe it.
Certainly
That
didn't.
looked, yeah, I was just going to say, that looked absolutely heart-crushing, like, definitely not a way to go out.
Oh no, second time I've done it too. Interlagos, I had to pace for Autridge, did the same thing. Can't believe it.
Yeah, and, well, commenting on the speed you were showing tonight, and was it just pushing a little bit too hard to try and apply some more pressure?
Yeah, I came into that left-hander and just off the turn, just got a little bit loose over the rear end, and then I overcorrected it hooked the left rear in the grass and just couldn't save it from there.
Yeah, very hard to pull up once you hit a little bit of grass, especially in one of these cars, and they just keep going and going. You weren't the only one that's done it tonight, so don't feel too hard on yourself.
I'll try not to.
How are you enjoying the Corvette anyway? You seem to be getting a lot quicker every time we see you out there.
I'm putting a lot of effort into it to try and get fast. I mean, those guys are just ridiculous. This week I had some decent pace, but I've just been practicing a lot to try and get it going faster and get my experience up a bit.
It's definitely paying off for you. We've made note throughout the season the speed you're finding, so well done, mate. I'm sure it's straight to the practice room and practice for next week.
Yeah, thanks guys. See you next week.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
Still got this train of HBDs of Steve Honan, Anthony Kernich, Milani and Salhani for 2nd through to 5th in the prototypes.
Yeah, nice little battle there. I was pretty sure I saw planes going flying down the straight there. But yeah, Steve Honan doesn't seem to let them get too far away from him.
We're 8 laps in now, with varying tyre pressures and whatnot. A lot of cars might just be up to full speed now and settling in for the longer 45-minute race.
Yeah, you definitely never know how this is going to play out, especially with these prototypes. Anything can happen in the last few minutes, so it's always best just to pace yourself and make sure you're there for the end of the race. Oh, looks like Eric's decided to find his speed, although he seems to have plenty of it. Just posted his fastest lap. 2:08.618. Geez, that's a bit faster than his last few laps. So obviously he's starting to feel real comfortable in that Ford GT.
Yeah, he might have bumped the nitrous button or something, I think, in that car. It's certainly taken off.
Found that 7th gear.
He's really pulled a big gap in that car. He's got a 10-second lead now over Andrew Wren.
That's definitely dominating in that car. Obviously, that whole team fairly strong here in the prototype series. Good to see some internationals back out there again. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk. Andrew Wren had a bit of an incident there, but yeah, a lot of talk around splitting regions and whatnot, and trying to get iRacing to have a look at it. But yeah, it's always good to see internationals out there mixing up with the Aussie guys. Having a look at Tommaso now, absolutely dominating as well. 10 seconds the difference now between Tommaso and Solani.
To the other end of the spectrum was Stefan Overgaard in the pits. He's hit the wall at the end of the back straight and he's in there getting some repairs done, so he's going to drop him way down the order.
Yeah, definitely be disappointed about that. Fabio.
Something's happened to John Sullivan. He's fallen back to Marty Atkins. He had quite a bit of a margin over Marty last lap.
Yeah, you'll obviously be. Oh, jeez, just over Mark Dean and Raphael had that really sideways all over the back of Steve Herden. Very aggressive there. What's obviously happened to Steve Herden here, he's dropped back right away from Anthony Kerr.
Yeah, just looking at his lap times there, he's a couple of seconds off his best, so something's definitely up. I don't know, I'm not sure if he might have suffered a bit of aero damage. He's certainly sliding it into the corners.
Yeah, looks like he's struggling to get that thing around corners. Thinks better of it unless Raphael through. Exactly sure what's happened to his.
Jonathan Solani's in second spot now outright of this race. He's managed to get past Milani.
Yeah, he's gotten around Milani. Milani's been really applying that blowtorch sight to the back of his car, not giving him much room to move. But yeah, good move there by someone to get around him.
Anthony Koenig was held up behind Charles NG in that Corvette, really just bowling off the back of Milani.
It's never what you want to see. You never want, playing with slower traffic. You've always got to make sure that you kind of get that good run. And through some of these slower corners, if the Corvette's there and it's backing you up a bit, you're just not going to get that run you want down the straight. And it goes to show. Like if you look at that gap now between Koenig and Milani, it's just. Yeah, a bit of work to get back around him.
Sohani and Milani, it's got a nice ring to it. They're certainly battling out at the moment. Milani looks really good under brakes, where Sohani looks like he's got some more straight end speed.
Yeah, Milani seems to really, he seems to be a lot smoother through the corners than what we're seeing from Solani at the moment. Obviously, Solani just been able to hold him back and put the car down on the straights.
Of course, the man that wants to see these two battle more is Anthony Koenig. Started P2 and got back to P4 at the start and hasn't been able to make any positions up, so he'll be super keen to get back up to P2, I'd imagine.
Yeah, definitely. He'll be moving it. Have some lap traffic, which is going to
Tony Aldridge.
Right to the further here at Koenig. Making sure he's giving him as much room as he can. It looks like Solani was the winner out of that.
Yeah, definitely. Solani's got 2 or 3 tenths over Milani, who's Anthony Koenig's got held up for a good 2 corners there behind Tony Aldridge, so that's hurt him.
Something's happened to Charles NG. We'll just see if we can pull that up on a replay. Oh. Nah, it's finished. Gone a bit too deep into Canada there and just managed to flick it around. No damage, but definitely not the way you want to go. I've actually seen a few Corvettes struggling to get around there, obviously going too deep or putting a bit too much pressure on the brakes and not being able to pull it up. John Sullivan. A bit of damage there, talking about Kenneth. Jeez, we're putting a curse out there on that corner now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an easy corner. You feel like you want to get on the gas a bit. You got a bit of runoff area, and it bites hard.
So John Sullivan's thought better of it and called it a night. Here looking at our current prototype leader, Tommaso, absolutely smashing it out the front there. Over 13 seconds now, the gap between him and Solani.
Yeah, he's really putting his authority on this race, and as we mentioned before, the only thing that'll bring him unstuck, I think, is lap traffic. So hopefully he can make his way cleanly through the lap traffic for the remaining of the race.
So look at Eric now in the Ford GT, the leader of his class. He's absolutely smashing it. So from last we talked about him, 208.61, he actually just matched his best lap time.
He has too.
Consistent 208 since 6 laps in. So he's definitely found his pace now in this little Ford GT, and he's not slowing down.
Must have been sending text messages or something those first few laps, because he's really put the pedal down now.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely smashing it. And comparing that to Andrew Wren in second place, whose fastest lap so far has been a 209.4. So big difference there in lap times between Andrew Wren and Eric.
Of course, we can't forget Andrew Wren. I think he was 7th. He started out of, and he's currently 2nd in class. So good job by Andrew, and he's actually pulled quite a gap over Dwayne Burns.
Yeah, a bit of a mover and shaker there back in the Ford GT class.
Milano's gone off. Let's Anthony Kearney's through for 3rd outright.
Oh, he's going to be disappointed about that.
Now he has his teammate in Raphael behind.
Yeah, that could have ended a lot worse than what it did. He just got it unsettled into that corner.
We've gone more than halfway through this race with just under 21 minutes remaining. Be interesting to see if Anthony can catch up to Solani.
Yeah, well, Solani's got a bit of room to breathe now, with Milani falling off a little bit, but see Anthony Koenig will want to get back up there as high as he can.
We've got Dwayne Burns in 3rd for the GT2 cars. He started 6th, so he's done well. He's moved up a few spots.
I can having a decent little race there in the Corvette. There from DNFs.
Yeah, know Marty pretty well, and I'm pretty sure he's done 0 laps of practice. He would have been something he thought I'll jump in and have a run in, so doing well to keep it on the track and keep it clean. There's no real battles to speak of. We've got Tony Aldridge making his way through GT2 cars at the moment of Titov.
Oh, try and sneak his nose in there. Spout in.
Oh, you always shallow into that fast king. It's not where you want to be.
Yeah, definitely not.
Of course, Tony doesn't really have to push that hard. He's got a 5.5 second lead over Wayne Burke, who's in 2nd in that class car.
Yeah, most of our leaders have got themselves nice little gaps so they can take it easy thing around the traffic. Oh, go back to our V8 supercars actually no, I shouldn't say we go back as a, because now that we have the Americans race, this is actually the 2nd race of the week for V8 supercars. But we go back to the main race anyway tomorrow night at Watkins Glen. get us a little preview of what that's going to be. A lot higher track of field tomorrow though, with us could be absolutely.
Sorry, Daniel's breaking up a little bit again. I'm pretty sure he said it's going to be an epic race. 53 laps is quite a long one. It's nearly 2 full tanks of fuel tomorrow night for the guys in the V8. So make sure you tune in. That's I know Watkins Glen. The times are extremely close at the front of the field. So yeah, make sure you all tune in. Anyone saw the V8s in America's race, they'd get an idea of what it's like. Great race, and it's one of the favourites of many of the V8 drivers. One of the favourite tracks. So make sure you tune in. It's going to be an epic race tomorrow night.
Just see if that's a little bit clearer.
That's better, mate. Fall back again.
Definitely. Dwayne Burns starting to drop off a little bit there. The other person that starting to catch there. But the other,
I think Dwayne Burns may go cut track then. He has stuff, you know. It's quite a grab this next. You know. Can hear me or not? I'm not sure if he's can hear us, but he can't. We'll just work in some technical problems.
Apology guys, we are having a couple of technical issues with our TeamSpeak server at the moment, so I'll come back in for a little bit while we try and get this sorted out. So it's been a pretty exciting race so far. So
have you got me now, Seb?
Yes, we do. There you are.
There we go.
looks like we're all good to go again. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, Milani's been having a few issues. It looks like he's decided to finish his race.
Yeah, he's just parked it on the side of the track there between turns 1 and 2.
I've noticed in the last few laps he's blew his engine. That's disappointing. The last few laps he's been struggling to keep up the pace. Let's let Raphael through, and obviously things just not going right for him.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for Milani. He certainly started this race strongly.
Kennedy has made a move to get around Dwayne.
Yeah, of course, Dwayne had to blow up for that cut track, so Kennedy's taken full opportunity of that. Well, it's not a huge field, the first race back in the new year, which was expected. There's still a lot of people on holidays and doing the family stuff, so only got, it's a little bit spread out, but we've only got 13 minutes left.
It's been a fairly good race so far, quite clean, getting around lap traffic, no incidents there.
Everyone's been very courteous. Of course, Road America's a nice big wide open track. It's that's why it provides good for multi-class racing.
Obviously next week is going to be quite interesting. Oh, a bit of smoke there. Yeah, we should have a fairly interesting race next week as we go into Mosport.
Yeah, it's a completely different track from this. It's tight and it's twisty and quite a skinny track, so it's going to provide plenty of action next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a great race, and then obviously after that we move into the final round for this season. We're going to Road at one of my favourite tracks. I love that track so much. It's definitely suits this style of racing as well.
Yeah, it does. Particularly like the undulation at Road Atlanta, the ups and downs of it. I just scanned my way through the whole field there, and I can't really find a battle to speak of. Everyone's very spread out at the moment.
Raphael starting to put some speed down and trying to catch up to Anthony Kernich. Hasn't got much time to get this done as he shoots a little bit wide there.
Yeah, the last few laps has been nearly a second quicker than Anthony.
Solani tries to make his way around some lap traffic. Oh, that gets awkward.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Solani's found those guys at a very difficult spot of the track. Mark Peter Dean, I think it was, had to take avoiding action of a very loose GT2 car.
Anthony Kernich now up to some traffic as well. Oh, Mark, so you're having a bit of issue with that Corvette at the moment. You get held up to the village where it's a lot of traffic.
Yeah, it's definitely deep enough to not the close to that doesn't really affect you too much. Would be nice to have some technical problems with that. Do a perfect second lead so
think everything's sorted again now.
Hello, you got me?
Oh, yep, coming through clear as we put the Paul van. Had a bit of an incident there in the Ford GT.
Yeah, he's just
Pull that.
he's just getting off the wall now at the approach to the last corner.
Yeah, just going in a little bit too hot.
Yeah, as you'll be able to see on the race recall replay. Got that back end slide and wasn't able to hold on to it, and then just backed it into the wall, so not too much damage there for him.
Just trying to see if I can find a battle through anywhere here. Not much really happening. Look right along with Marco, just a bit of a look, see how he's going. 14 seconds now, the gap between him and Solani. Tony Orchard as well. In the Corvette. Managed to make a nice little gap between himself and Wayne Burke.
I was about to mention Andrew Wren's been caught up by Genevieve.
He's lapped on 209.133. Genetti's lap time compared to that of the 210s to 11 from Andrew Wren. So that's a fairly big chunk of time that he's been taken out. So might just be able to get him by the end of this.
Yeah, with only 6 minutes remaining, we'll keep an eye on these two. Could have been a bit of lap traffic that hampered Andrew on those previous laps, but we'll keep a definite eye on this. There could be a race to the finish line between these guys.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just going back to have a look at Anthony Kernich and Raphael, and I'm looking at Raphael. It looks like he's having a bit of lag issues. So what seems to be sorted now. Always a scary thing to happen. Not much in it, but really between Anthony Kernich and Raphael.
Their lap times have been pretty comparable, so Anthony will be confident of being able to hold Raphael off to the end of the race. I've been impressed with the way Jonathan's Gohani's been able to put his mark on second spot in this race.
Yeah, definitely. Once he actually got there and got himself sorted, he's definitely found a fair bit of consistency for that second position. And you know, Tommaso really after the first week he kind of didn't really build as much. So Johnson's done well to kind of hold that gap.
He's just made his way around. The leader of the GT1 cars in Tony Orchard is another race tonight who's really put his mark on this championship coming in the last couple of weeks. Might give you a little look around Road America on board with the leader of GT1 car of Tony Orchard.
It's a lap there of Proto-America with Tony Ortridge. God, it's so quiet for the ones who just listen to how awesome that Corvette sounds. But talking about battles, it's starting to get interesting. This Kennedy battle and Andrew Wren really starting to heat up now. Kennedy right on the back of Andrew Wren.
Yeah, and both are trading fastest lap times for the race, so towards the back end of this race, they're both pushing very hard. And Kennedy looks like he's got a little bit of speed on Andrew Wren at the moment.
Definitely seems to have the stronger car out of the two. I see position playing favour here for Andrew Wren. He's going to try and defend that all the way to the end. It's not too much longer to go in this race. Our leader's about to take the white flag. Talking about fast lap times, I just had a quick look at our leader, Tommaso's HPD. His last lap was actually his fastest lap of the race, 1:48.893.
Yeah, I just noticed that myself there. Daniel, he's certainly not backing off. He really no need for him to push so hard, but
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, it's a bit risky pushing so hard, but he's obviously been out there on his own.
he comes across the line now to take the white flag. So one more lap for the leader.
Which leaves just a little less than 2 laps for this Kennedy Andrew Wren battle.
Yeah, so after 45 minutes, they were together, these two, and then they got separated by quite a margin. But Kennedy's done well. He's catch back up to Andrew Wren.
Yeah, definitely stayed focused for the back end of this race. And, this is where it's going to probably play out. If Marco can get around, and this could be their final lap.
Yeah, exactly.
So Kennedy will be doing everything in his power to make sure they get another lap out of this. Let's have a look at Tommaso. Maybe we might see if we can get out right on board and see how close he's actually going to get.
I think he will get him by the end of this lap.
Yeah, he's absolutely putting the power down. Andrew Wren probably is a bit of relief as Tommaso.
Huge sigh of relief there, I'm sure, from Andrew Wren.
That Tommaso is just taking a bit of the pressure off him. Making sure he secures that position as Tommaso is way up the hill for the final time. And takes the win for the prototypes here at Road America. Andrew Wren and Kennedy second and third.
A good strong performance from Sohani. He takes second outright in the prototype.
Yeah, fantastic drive by Sohani. Did a bit of work to make sure he got where he was, started in fifth, so that's a very good move to make it all the way up until second. Tony Ortridge coming around now to take his first position there in the Corvette.
Yeah, well done from Tony Ortridge. He's really shown his authority in this car. Was able to hold off some early charges from Wayne Burke and Charles NG, but top race from him. And Jake Burton, actually, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate. Jake Burton retiring so early in the race as Wayne Burke comes in second for the Corvette cars. Still waiting actually for the leader to finish his lap in the Proto-GT.
Yeah, Eric's another driver's got stronger and stronger throughout the race.
Yeah, fantastic race by Eric.
I think he's one of the last cars to cross the line, but obviously he's the winner of the GT2 cars.
All right, let's have a quick look at these results and how everyone's finished up here at Road America. So for the prototypes, in first we've got Tommaso, second Jonathan Salini, third Anthony Kernich, fourth Raphael, fifth Steve Hoonan, sixth Andre, seventh Gavin, and then in DNFs Fabio Milani, which is absolutely disappointing to see him not actually finish that race.
Yeah, and in the GT1 we got Tony Autry's with a dominant performance over Wayne Burke, and Charles NG round out the podium in third. Mark Peter Dean and Marty Atkins in fifth. Of the non-finishers we had John Sullivan, Stefan Overgaard, and of course Jake Burton.
And for the GT2s, we've got Eric in first, Andrew Wren second, Gennady third, Dwayne fourth, Andrew Cassie fifth, Paul Van sixth, and Fabio and Saba both DNFs. Over and all, for a small field, it was a pretty good race overall. A few gaps there, but got a little bit interesting there with Gennady and Andrew Wren towards the end in the GT2 class.
Yeah, definitely they were able to provide a bit of excitement. Yeah, small field, big track, it was always bound to happen, but good clean racing from the guys tonight. I was impressed.
Yeah, not too many DNFs, or actually no DNFs from incidents with slower traffic, which is always good to see. Good to see a few of the international guys out there as well. Last time we saw Tommaso, we saw how fast he was. Obviously, he didn't play into his favour at the end, but obviously really switched on when it comes to that prototype. So definitely good to see him out there. Great drive by Salini, to start fifth in that prototype class and make his way up to second. But yeah, absolutely brilliant racing all around. Tony Autridge, fantastic job in that Corvette, and Eric, well, yeah, he just ended up smashing it out in that Ford GT.
Yeah, definitely, and got to give a shout out to Andrew Wren from I think it was starting 7th in class, and to finish second's a good effort, really good effort from Andrew.
Yeah, definitely another really big mover. Actually, it seems to be the second place guys that have done well, because Wayne Burke started at the back of the Corvette grid as well, and managed to make his way up into second.
Yeah, definitely.
So great to see. Hopefully we'll get a bigger grid next week with everyone coming back from their holidays and getting some practice in for motorsport, which should be very, very interesting when it comes to these cars.
Yeah, I can't wait for next week. Should be really good. It's a great little track, motorsport. One of my favourites, and pretty quick lap around there, so there'll be plenty of lap traffic to deal with next week.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of guys really getting on top of each other over there. Road America, obviously, there's a lot of room here to spread your legs and make sure that you're getting around nice and cleanly, but you're not going to get that kind of racing down at Mosport. So it'll be great to see. I'm really looking forward to it. But tomorrow night we're back for the main game for V8 Supercars at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'll put on the crew chief hat tomorrow night and hopefully get our guys across the line, but there's a few others out there that have setting some blistering times, but they're all pretty close, so I expect some good racing tomorrow night.
Yeah, definitely. Watkins Glen always makes for interesting racing, especially in the V8 supercar, so it's going to be great to see them out there, and obviously a fairly long race tomorrow, 53 laps I do believe it is, which brings pit stops into play.
Yeah, 53 laps. It's pretty much nearly 2 full tanks tomorrow night, so guys are going to have their work cut out for them, that's for sure. Going to need the concentration hats on.
Yeah, when we're talking 2 full tanks, it doesn't leave a lot of room to kind of play around with where your lap window is. It's almost got to be spot on to make sure that you're going to make it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Daniel. You got to make sure you don't get any damage that first stint, because if you have to pit a little bit early to get damage repaired or anything like that, basically it's race over. So the guys are going to have to be fully aware of what they got to do to make sure they get to that pit stop window.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be great to watch. I'm looking forward to that one, and then we go back into trucks are back as of Wednesday night as well.
Yeah, back with the trucks with I think Anthony Kernich and Mike Korolev commentating. So make sure you tune in for that. I enjoy watching those truck series, those broadcasts.
Yeah, they're quite fun. They're a nice little addition. They don't go for too long. The racing's always really intense, and like any good oval race, you can come from the back and still manage to win one of those things. So they're always fun to watch, and the guys, it's been improving, and the fields have been getting a lot stronger. So it's getting a lot more interesting to watch. So if you haven't watched one, definitely tune in on Wednesday night and give the trucks a go.
I'll also just take the opportunity to big shout out to our American friends. I've watched the broadcast they did, their first one the other day, and very impressed. They did a good job, and look forward to that series getting stronger and stronger in the American V8 supercars.
Yeah, great series to watch. A lot of those American guys, are quite fast in the V8 supercar, and sometimes our split doesn't really work time friendly for them. So they've had their own little race for a while now. And it only seemed like the right thing to do to get that broadcast going. So a big shout out to the American guys for working and with us and getting that all set up. So it was great to watch. I watched their first broadcast on Thursday. I think it works out Thursday lunchtime for us, but as of next week it moves over to the Friday one. But yeah, definitely a lot of fun to watch. And I think we also have one new thing that's happening short shift with Jay Kennedy and Sandman, which started off as Behind v8sonline. We might change the name of it on YouTube, but if you haven't seen it, check that out. So that was just a little bit of a pilot and a teaser of what's happening. A lot of work going into that. So really excited about that one, and fantastic job by Jay Kennedy and Sandman to really get that lifted off the ground. And it's good to see Jay. It's good to hear his voice. I don't know about seeing him, but it's definitely good to hear his voice again over the internet.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoy what the boys do, and I've seen some sneak peeks of what's coming up in the future. It's pretty exciting, actually. Some of the stuff they're going to be able to show you the ins and outs of sim racing for you guys that aren't fully aware of what we do. So yeah, make sure you tune into that. I think they're going to run it monthly.
Yeah, that's the plan. So hopefully that's the way it worked out. But yeah, they're both very pumped, and there's a lot of work happening with that. So I'm really excited to see the second episode and how it turns out. But I think pretty much time to call it a night for us tonight. Thanks everyone for tuning in and coming back from your Christmas break. I'm glad that we could make it back and get this broadcast happening again. Next week, obviously, we've spoken about it. We're off to Mosport, which is the second last round for the season before we move into Race of Champions. We'll probably talk a little bit more about that tomorrow night and what's happening. Well, we're not going to really say. We never really say what's happening at Race of Champions. It kind of just happens.
Complete secret, Race of Champions.
Yeah, but it's always amazing. So, but there'll probably be some details floating around about that. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night for Watkins Glen, which is one of the most exciting races for V8 supercars, I think, and I love that it's a big long race tomorrow. So make sure you tune in for that one, and we'll talk to you guys again on Sunday night for Mosport.